Malaysia is widely recognized as one of the 12 countries with mega biological diversity. With its rich and unique natural resources and high biodiversity, Malaysia has always been the center of reference for world heritage and natural environment. It is our duty as human beings to protect and preserve our natural environment and responsibly utilize this precious gift entrusted to us by the Creator. The scientific expedition to Gunung Ledang Johor National Park was conducted from the 8th to 14th November 2012. This initiative was spearheaded by University Technology Mara (UiTM) and the Johor National Parks Corporation, or commonly known as Perbadanan Taman Negara Johor (PTNJ), with cooperation from local institutions such as Forest Research Institute Malaysia (FRIM), Johor State Forestry Department, University Tun Hussein On, and others. The expedition was carried with the sole purpose of conducting studies and collecting as much as possible relevant data on biodiversity in the forest of Gunung Ledang. This commendable effort to bring together researchers and scientists from various fields of expertise is a definite source of pride for the country and for those involved. The collecting of information on biodiversity will no doubt strengthen conservation efforts of biodiversity sources and splendor of Malaysia's treasured forests. It is already known to all the forest is a spectacular natural heritage, rich with natural resources and biological diversity. The forest is also the main contributor to the country's socio-economic development. Not to mention, the forest also beneficially contributes to land and biodiversity, climate stability, creation of recreational spots, as well as clean water resource. Therefore, efforts in protecting and preserving forest heritage need to be prioritized to ensure its role in the economic and the country are sustained and enhanced. The launching and officiating of the expedition was carried out by Johor's Tourism Exco YB Tan Kok Hong, Johor's International Trade and Industry, Energy, Water, Communication and Environment Exco. UiTM was represented by Yang Berbahagia Professor Dr. Insinyur Haji Abdul Rahman Omar, Deputy Vice Chancellor of Research and Innovation. The officiating speech emphasized the need to prioritize efforts in protecting and restoring our natural forests in order to sustain and enhance its economical and social roles in the country. This scientific expedition encompasses 7 fields of study, namely floral diversity, fauna diversity, water and aquatic biodiversity, physical and landscape diversity, park management, ecotourism and community research, fungus.
This scientific expedition is part of the collaboration work between UiTM and Perbadanan Taman Negara Johor, and it is held between 8 to 14 of November 2011. In these expeditions, we have gathered a total of 120 researchers from UiTM, FRIM, Unimars, Johor Parks, Forestry Department, and some other institutions. So the objective of these expeditions is for us to enhance scientific knowledge in the context of biodiversity with special reference to Gunung Ledang National Park, Johor.
As preparation, the organizer carried out detailed planning of the expedition to ensure achievement of the target. A meeting session with all researchers involved gave the opportunity to all participants to strategize effectively in collecting data according to their respective fields within the stipulated time. On the first day of the expedition, participants were briefed about their respective study location. In ensuring a smooth flow of the expedition, Mr. Muhammad Salih Daim, Head of the Center for Biodiversity and Sustainable Development UiTM, acting as Head of Operations for the expedition, conveyed the regulations to the participants.
Tak, kalau you kat atas, you jangan turun pangan, you tunggu kat plateau.
The bird research team, comprising of researchers from UiTM and UNIMAS, chose to conduct bird biodiversity research at several heights in various sea study locations in Gunung Ledang. The insect research team, led by Puan Siti Khairia Hatta, and 3 flora research team were ready early to proceed to the study location. On the first day, the flora and medicinal team decided to head for the dam base camp to stay for a couple of days to collect data on flora diversity from the lowland tropical forest to the mountain forest. To begin the research, the flora and medicinal plant research team began their exploration at 257 meters above sea level, which is at lowland tropical forest. Subsequently, the team headed out to the hill tropical forest, followed by upper hill tropical forest, and finally to the mountain forest, or also known as mountain forest.
Ada sini. Atau kapus? Pucuk dah ujung. Atau kapus. Macam keledang tampang ke atau keledang bangkong?
Tapi terminal dia branching.
Ni ada ni. Tengok. Tapi kalau ada kapus sini.
Tapi Pak Cik dia terminal dia branching.
Tapi tu pucuk dia merah.
Wah. Tak apa ambil sampel.
Kalau boleh show cameraman ambil.
Species encountered along the trail of lowland tropical forest were recorded. Among the collected biological specimens were flowers, fruits, and leaves. Identifications of the specimens includes identifying the species. Non-identified specimens were brought to the herbarium laboratory for further discovery.
So it's not Elecapus lah ya? Remove lah. Could be Sepotesi lah.
Ataupun Morasi question mark tu.
Tapi Morasi tak ada terminal branching.
Tak ada kan?
Tapi Sepotesi getah dia putih. So letak ni lah ya.
Challenge aside, this expedition provides a golden opportunity for researchers from various organizations to discuss and exchange thoughts on their respective research with reference to the collection of species found at Gunung Ledang. The team of bird researchers carried out research about the distribution of bird communities at Gunung Ledang at different heights. 2 methods were used to record the birds: conducting observation along the transect and capturing the birds using a net.
Kecil lah dia.
Balik faham.
Lagi besar yang ni dia. Macam mana nak try guna tu? Tak muat dia ni. Sebab dia bulu je tebal ni. Tak ada. Kita heran ada yang
The study is important as it gives a depiction of the status and composition of the bird communities and subsequently serve as guide in identifying the species of bird that are near extinction.
at the same time dia tak
These data on the status and composition of birds at Gunung Ledang are crucial as they will update the existing data inventory compiled in the 80s. On the second day, researchers continued their exploration of natural heritage in Gunung Ledang. The flora team and the medicinal plant team resumed their exploration on the trail of the hill tropical forest at about 500 meters above sea level.
Okay, this is a species from the family of Simalacasi.
is known as Smilax sitosa, locally known as akar banar or akar gadang.
This time around, both groups worked together with the Natural Compounds team headed by Professor Madya Dr. Norizan Ahmad from the Faculty of Applied Sciences UiTM. These combined teams studied and recorded data on commonly found plant species in hilly tropical forests that have potential as a source of natural compounds. Medicinal plant researchers were headed by Cik Nurfazlina Muhammad Nawi, a final year student for Masters in Science program at the Faculty of Applied Sciences. Nurfazlina possessed a strong passion for this field of research.
In this expedition, our team will prepare the list of medicinal plants that can be found at Gunung Ledang National Park. We will climb from the 300-meter elevation to the top of mountain, and this research is very important for the discovery of new therapeutic drugs that derive from natural source and is needed in clinical studies.
The Natural Compounds team listed down several plant species that were identified and they followed the forest trail to find melinjau and kembang semangkuk tree species. For the Natural Compounds team, all 4 samples of the plant are required to enable screening analysis in order to identify compounds contained in the particular plant. The forest is also home to wild animals. On their way to the mountain forest, researchers discovered animal tracks that later were identified as footprints of tapirs. For the young participants, this expedition presented them with priceless survival experience. Dr. Syekh Abdul Karim Yamani, an experienced lecturer and researcher from UiTM Pahang, demonstrated how water can be made available from climbing plants.
Ini nak juga.
Airnya rasa sayur kayaknya.
Tanah-tanah sikit.
Rasa tahu.
Man, sini Man.
Pergi.
Belum rasa?
Ni, pas bagi dia.
Oh, okey.
Ini yang ada getah. Ada getah.
Olah, atalah. Mau minum air.
Dapat tak?
Bajai. Jangan bajai-bajaikan.
Studies at water areas involve studies on composition and distribution of freshwater fish species. Rivers that were surveyed are upstream with clear water that have swift current, rocky and sandy bottom. Several species were observed to have special attributes to adapt in certain habitats. Apart from studying the population and distribution aspect, this study also contributes to the readily available information about freshwater fish species in Taman Negara Gunung Ledang. Researchers from UNIMAS and UiTM joined forces in conducting a study on frogs. The study was carried out at night as frogs are commonly known to be active at that time. To carry out this study on frogs, researchers had to train their eyes to quickly locate the frogs. Moreover, frogs are known to live in places that are almost the same color of them. One way to locate this frog is to flash lights into the frog's eyes.
Nampak pencemaran Malaysia.
Research on the socio-economic of the Orang Asli community was led by Dr. Ahmad Nakiuddin Bakar, head of the research unit at the Center for Strategic Planning, UiTM. One of the aspects that were focused on was indigenous medicinal knowledge, or also known as ethnobotany. During the meeting session with the Temuan tribe of the Orang Asli, researchers were given clarification on how the Orang Asli community use natural plant sources to treat illnesses.
Yang ni tadi saya campur ni. Macam tu cukup. Air dia mirah ni. Ni akar.
Minum je lah.
Akar rebus.
Baik lah ya.
Akar ni tak kira perempuan boleh minum, lelaki boleh minum.
Dia untuk buah pinggang.
Ambil pinggang. Kalau nak boleh ambil.
Tuan ni pinggang tak kuat. Aris, pinggang tak kuat.
Ni kalau macam kita badan tak sihat ke, ni lah. Ubat tadi apa tu? Ni campur dia. Minum.
Mesti kena campur lah.
Dia campur sekali.
Ni bukan jampi. Ni ubat keturunan untuk dari dulu moyang.
Jampi tak ada tu.
Kita cari itu barang tu jumpa, kita potong. Tak jumpa tu tak potong. Tak sebarang kita potong. Anak kaya pun kita tengok ubat punya. Kita ambil itu aja.
Sekadar keperluan kita
Tak
sendiri.
tak semua kayu kita cari cabut-cabut tak ada.
Ya.
Tu.
Padahal ni kalau campur sini rebus sekali minum lah air dia.
Minum lah. Macam ni.
Dia tak lagi minum.
Kalau ni kita bos guna 3 kali. Kalau dalam ketel tu dah masak, lepas tu masuk dalam jug lain. Tapi nak tapis lah.
Okey.
Jadi dia punya ada tu.
Segelas dia.
Lepas tu kita minum.
Segelas.
Air dia mirah tau.
Air.
Saya tak ada minum ni. Nak minum teh pun tak nak. Atau lagi nak ubat tu. Itu pun tak boleh cari ah.
The Orang Asli community indeed have outstanding knowledge of plants with medicines that can cure various diseases. This is what we call tacit knowledge, whereby knowledge is passed on from one generation to another and is not published in any scientific papers.
Air dia minum, bukan tu. Ni potong-potong ni rebus. Buat untuk mandi. Mandi anak, mandi kita. Inilah datuk-datuk moyang kita dulu dia tinggal. Sejarah dia ni lah.
A small study on mammals was carried out by a group of researchers from University Malaysia Sarawak. Cage traps were used to capture these small mammals for the study.
For the first day, kami dah dapat seekor small mammal spesies Tupaia iglis. Untuk identification dia, kita orang dah ambil measurement bagi ekor, badan, telinga dan ambil gambar untuk lagi detail identification supaya dapat tengok dia punya stripes pada badan, pada bulu-bulu, jenis bulu yang digunakan yang ada pada small mammal tersebut.
Domestika, muska domestika. Iya ke? Apa ni?
Nature plants at mountain areas differs according to the heights of the area. The higher the area, the more sparse are the plants in the particular area. Plant structures also differ for lowland tropical forests, in which the heights of trees becomes lower. There are also coniferous trees at the heights of 1,000 meters. Besides that, there are also other classes of plants such as epiphytic plants, orchids, and ferns. Traces of history are still intact here. There is a stone inscription in Jawi, not far from the peak of Gunung Ledang at Asahan Trail. This location also serves as shield and shelter from the harsh sun for the climbers. The peak of Gunung Ledang is marked with a stone monument. The breathtaking panorama from the peak features the street of Malacca, the Tengkak district, and the peak of Gunung Runduk.